Good morning, everyone, and welcome to OTR School. I'm Pedro. And I'm Thomas. We are both secondary students of OTR School, a small private international school located in Luxembourg. Like many of you, we are animal enthusiasts. We both love pets and truly believe all animals deserve a good life. But sadly, many animals in Europe are left abandoned to take care of themselves. This is a serious issue that doesn't get enough attention. This is why we've decided to make this documentary to shed light on the sad state of stray cats and dogs across Europe and hopefully inspire people to help. So join us on this journey as we uncover the unknown of the struggles of stray animals. But before we start, we need to truly understand the issue. So, what are stray animals? They're animals that have been abandoned by their owners or that have been born on the streets. In both cases, they are left without human care to search for food and shelter in urban and rural areas. Estimates say that there are about tens of thousands of stray cats and dogs across Europe. The cause of this huge crisis are many irresponsible pet owners, lack of sterilization, and illegal pet trade. Many people don't realize that owning a pet is a lifelong commitment. They adopt impulsively without thinking about the long term responsibilities. When life gets hard, moving houses, financial struggles, or even loss of interest, people simply abandon their pets. Imagine the confusion and fear these animals feel. They go from a warm home to cold streets, fending for themselves. Some strays are lucky. They find kind people that feed them or take them in. But many others face hunger, disease, and even abuse. Believe it or not, those are not the only issues. In fact, stray animals also affect human lives by invading private and public property, spreading disease, and even attacking aggressively. Now let's explore stray cats' life. Castrojeriz, a small village with deep history, nestled in the plains of northern Spain. Once a Roman settlement and later a medieval stronghold, it's now a cared stop along the Camino de Santiago. Pilgrims have passed through its winding streets for centuries, resting beneath the gaze of its hilltop castle and ancient churches. Here, history lingers, and life moves to the rhythm of old stones and quiet paths. Among the weathered stone and sunlight of Castrojeriz, life takes many forms. While pilgrims journey onward, four quiet residents remain behind, watching, stretching, and wandering at their own pace. There's Noche and Sombra, both deep black, like moving ink against golden walls. They're hard to tell apart, unless you know them well. But one has a faint nick in his ear, the other a slight limp from an old rooftop jump gone wrong. Then there's Nieve, white as snow, her coat so bright it seems to glow in the morning sun. She's bold and sociable, often the first to approach a passing pilgrim. And finally, Grace, the gray one, a calm, contemplative tomcat who prefers quiet corners and soft dirt paths under olive trees. These four live without owners, but not without care. The villagers of Castrojeriz feed them and speak kindly to them, even offer them blankets in winter and shaded spots in summer. It's this support that helps them stay surprisingly healthy, for the most part. Still, a careful observer might notice something: a twitch, a scratch, a repeated nibble at the same patch of fur. Grooming is natural, but excessive scratching often hints something more. For stray cats, one of the most common issues is fleas. These tiny parasites cause intense itching, hair loss, and in some cases, even anemia, especially in kittens. Fleas can also transmit tapeworms, adding to the burden. Another cause of itchiness is mangy, a skin disease caused by mites. It can also lead to scrabbing, patchy fur, and a miserable, restless cat. If left untreated, mangy can cause long term skin damage and secondary infections. Ringworms, a fungal infection, not a worm at all. It's contagious to other animals and humans, causing hairless rings and flasky skin. It's treatable, but hard to manage without regular medical care. And of course, there are the major viruses. The FIV, feline immune deficiency virus. It weakens the immune system, making a cat vulnerable to other illnesses. These spread through bites or close contact, and are suddenly common in unneutered population. What's most striking is their behavior. These cats are not fearful. They don't flee at the sight of a camera or the sound of a boot on stone. They live in plain view because they're safe. Because here in this village, exposure doesn't mean danger, it means coexistence. Noche, sombra, nieve, and gris may not wear colors, but they are part of this place. Their lives tell a quiet story of how even stray animals can thrive, if only they're given space, food, and a little kindness. They are not pests, and they are part of the ecosystem, part of the village rhythm, and perhaps part of why Castro Jerez feels just a little more alive. Stray cats face many challenges: lack of food, exposure to disease, and danger from traffic. In some countries, stray cats are euthanized and even poisoned to avoid overpopulation. One solution to this are sterilization programs. Spaying and neutering can greatly decrease stray cats population. But the best solution is, of course, responsible ownership, adopting instead of buying, and ensuring lifelong care. Did you know that one single unspayed cat and her offspring can produce up to 240,000 kittens in only 7 years? Or that the typical lifespan of a stray cat is 2 to 3 years compared to the 15 plus years of a pet cat? It is estimated that about 80% of stray kittens don't survive their first year due to starvation, disease, or accidents. A stray cat's territory can vary from a backyard all the way up to a couple city blocks. And finally, some stray cats need to travel 10 kilometers in order to find food and shelter.
Welcome to Derenazil, one of the most important animal shelters in Luxembourg.
Because of its existence, it has been a safe haven for thousands of stray and abandoned animals.
Every year, 1,000 animals find refuge here on average 512 dogs and 454 cats. But it's not just pets, it's also farm animals like sheep, goats, and even cattle animals.
This shelter is run by the Luxembourg de Liga, an organization officially recognized in 2012. Their mission: to protect, rescue, and rehome animals in need.
But taking care for so many animals isn't easy. The staff, volunteers, and vets work 7 days a week to provide medical care, attention, and most importantly, love.
The shelter has recently expanded their cat section to meet the growing demand. In the past decade, nearly 5,000 cats have been rescued here, and that number just keeps rising.
And for the animals that need extra help due to illness, age, or behavioral challenges, the Renasil partners with Hope for Paws. This is a special sanctuary which help provide long-term care for those who can't be easily rehomed.
But the goal is always adoption. The team carefully matches animals with the right families, ensuring that they get a second chance to a happy life.
And if adoption isn't an option, there are other ways to help: volunteering, fostering, or donating. Every bit of support helps.
The Deren Asil team kindly agreed to collaborate with us and gave us the opportunity to record and document their amazing work.
So let's get going straight to the animals.
Donc, bonjour madame, merci de nous avoir accueillis
De
aujourd'hui.
rien, oui.
On va commencer avec l'entretien. Première question, pouvez-vous nous parler du travail effectué par vous dans ce refuge?
En premier lieu, je suis bénévole et j'assiste aux adoptions des chiens et chats. En plus, je suis présidente de la Tierschutzliga, mais le plus important pour moi, c'est vraiment de donner les chiens dans de meilleures familles qu'ils sont venus ici pour l'adoption.
Mhm.
Et ça, c'est le plus important. Aussi, notre team aussi, tous les gens qui travaillent ici, du secrétariat aux soigneurs d'animaux, le même principe, c'est toujours notre devise de placer les chiens et les chats dans les meilleures familles.
Ok. Quelles sont les raisons les plus courantes pour lesquelles les gens abandonnent leurs animaux de compagnie?
Oui, bon, il y a plusieurs raisons. Il y a des raisons de santé, il y a des raisons de divorce, il y a des raisons financièrement. Il y a aussi des maltraitances, c'est-à-dire la police qui nous amène des chiens et chats. Il y a aussi, par exemple, des gens un peu âgés qui doivent aller dans une maison de retraite. Il y a des maisons de retraite qui n'acceptent pas les chiens et les chats. Ou, comme j'ai dit aussi, tu leur divorces, etc. Ça, c'est la première chose.
Ok. Alors, comment peuvent les gens comme nous aider à ce problème?
De dire un peu, même à votre école ou avec toutes les personnes, comment ça marche un refuge, et aussi que les gens doivent bien réfléchir et que nous, on n'est pas payé par l'État et que c'est des dons et héritages qu'on existe et que c'est une SPL. Et on a plusieurs aussi des engagés. Alors, je pense que ça, c'est une très bonne, comment dire, pour parler avec les personnes qui ne savent, mais il y a beaucoup de personnes qui savent même pas ce que c'est un asile ou un refuge comme ça.
Avez-vous une histoire de sauvetage qui se démarque?
Oui, qu'est-ce que j'avais dit là? Ah oui, il y en avait des chiens et des chats aussi dans une maison où il y avait, comment on appelle ça, des massifs. C'est-à-dire, on a été appelé là avec un inspecteur, avec la police, etc. Et là, on a vu des chiens et chats déjà décédés, etc. Mais on a pu sauver quelques-uns qui sont venus ici, qui étaient tellement maigres qu'on avait pensé qu'ils ne survivaient pas. Et on a fait beaucoup pour eux. Et là, on a vraiment trouvé des personnes, heureusement, on les a bien placés dans des familles. Et on avait vraiment pensé au début qu'ils ne pouvaient pas survivre. Ça, c'était très grave.
C'est une histoire très belle. Alors, quel est l'aspect le plus gratifiant du travail dans un refuge?
Qu'on espère qu'on trouve toujours des bonnes personnes, des bonnes familles pour de nouveau placer les chiens et chats qui ont peut-être subi beaucoup de malheurs, qu'on ne place pas encore une fois dans des personnes qui n'ont pas de regard qui n'ont pas de pitié avec les animaux.
Ouais. Quels sont les plus grands défis auxquels votre refuge est confronté?
Comme toujours, je retombe toujours à la même, c'est qu'on place bien les chiens et chats qui ont vécu ici dans le refuge. Ça nous donne la plus grande satisfaction quand on trouve la meilleure famille.
Comment le gouvernement et les communautés peuvent-ils mieux soutenir les refuges comme celui-là?
Peut-être qu'il pourrait bâtir aussi, le gouvernement, un refuge aussi pour nous soulager un peu, parce qu'on est très grand ici, mais ça devient déjà trop petit. Mais peut-être, mais là, il faudrait que le gouvernement engage des personnes qui sont payées aussi par le gouvernement, hein, parce que nous, on ne peut plus encore ouvrir un asile comme ça, parce que on est déjà à notre bout pour vraiment donner de la satisfaction à notre personnel, etc.
Ouais. Et finalement, dernière question. Quel message adresserez-vous aux personnes qui veulent acquérir un animal de compagnie?
Ben, qu'ils se renseignent déjà d'abord dans un refuge. Si on a l'animal qui convient, il n'y a pas de souci. On donne des renseignements, on donne vraiment tout. Et je crois que ça, c'est la meilleure chose, de venir peut-être d'abord dans un refuge pour voir si on a l'animal qui convient.
Oui. Et puis aussi de réfléchir et de s'assurer que...
Voilà, tout à fait. Parce qu'il y a aussi beaucoup de problèmes ici, parce que il faut toujours penser que, surtout un chien, ou même un chat, peut vivre 10 à 15 ans, et il faut aussi savoir qu'est-ce que je fais avec l'animal,
Ouais.
si j'ai plus d'argent, ou si je fais avec un divorce, ou il y a un changement dans la vie,
Ouais.
qu'est-ce que je fais avec l'animal, il faut toujours aussi penser un peu,
Dans le futur.
voilà, à l'animal.
Ouais. Ok, donc merci pour m'avoir accueilli. C'est la fin de l'entretien.
Mais moi, je dis merci aussi que vous vous occupez des choses comme ça, parce que c'est vraiment, les animaux, ça compte.
At the shelter, we were given access to the cat house, where over 120 rescued cats are currently housed. The facility provides food, medical care, and space for the cats to socialize and recover in a safe environment. We also visited a restricted area not open to the public, the dog cages. This section houses more than 80 dogs, many of them recent rescues or animals requiring extra care. It's a secure, controlled space where the dogs are monitored closely before being moved to adoption areas.
And that just about wraps up our time at Daigon Asile.
A huge thank you to the team for their dedication and for welcoming us.
Your work changes lives, and the world needs more of it.
Now let's jump straight into the next section. Dogs are often abandoned for the same reason as cats, but their situation is sometimes even harder. They are more visible and more likely to be captured, and they sometimes even face harsher treatment. Did you know a stray dog can live up to 3 years compared to a pet dog who can live up to 10 to 15 years? In some countries, over 30% of shelter dogs are euthanized due to overcrowding. A single pair of stray dogs can produce up to 67,000 puppies in just 6 years. Dogs abandoned in rural areas often struggle more than dogs abandoned in urban areas as they lack easy access to food. Studies show that rescue dogs often form stronger bonds with their new owners than store bought ones. In the outskirts of Bucharest, Romania, we began documenting the life of a golden brown stray dog we named Mira. She was first spotted near the edge of a quiet residential area, living in the ruins of an old collapsed garden. Mira had made the space her own, turning it into a makeshift den to protect her 10 newborn puppies. The location was remote, and rarely visited, which likely gave her a sense of security. But it also meant she had limited access to food, clean water, or any form of medical care. Over the course of several days, we returned to observe her and her litter. Mira was cautious but not aggressive, always keeping a watchful eye as she searched for scraps of food in bins and roadside ditches. Her ribs were visible, and she walked with a slight limp, possibly from an old injury. Despite her condition, she remained committed to caring for her pups. Unfortunately, some of the puppies were already showing early signs of illness, runny eyes, coughing, and extreme fatigue. These symptoms, combined with their vulnerable environment, painted a concerning picture. Mira's situation is sadly representative of a wider crisis. Romania has one of the largest stray dog populations in Europe, and cases like this are far from rare. Without sterilization programs or structured support, stray dogs continue to reproduce at an uncontrollable rate. Mira's story captures this ongoing struggle in real time, an individual case that reflects a much larger systematic problem.
And now we're back, exactly where we started.
But we're not the same. We've seen many struggles of stray cats and dogs.
We've learned from volunteers, shelter workers, and even the animals themselves.
And now we know what has to be done.
Animals don't deserve to be abandoned. They need love, care, and protection.
It's up to us to adopt, to help, to take care of them.
Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Now it's up to us to make a difference.
And remember, even the smallest act of kindness can save a life. But before we start, we need to truly understand the issue.
Understand. So- those are my parents, just so you know.
Stray animals also affect human lives by just do everything.
Free.
Now let's jump straight
I
into the
want
next
to
section.
break free.
Shut up.
I want to break free. But sometimes adoption isn't an option. What the hell?